Hi guys, welcome back again. I'm Prasenji. Thank you for tuning in. In this session, we are going to complete that our companion.py, and in this, I'm going to write the last two functions, that is database connect, and the last one is database operation. So now let's start with coding. Uh, you can go through this documentation string in the GitHub link. For now, let me just give you the brief of it. It is a connection function which connects us to a database and gives us returns us an open connection. So you can see what it needs is a database name, the user, the password. There are other two parameters as well. One is host and the port. But for my case, I'm going to use it in development, so I will use it directly in the connect function itself. But you can modify them here as well. So these are the positional arguments are always required. So let's go and try to create this function. And I'm going to use try and except block for this. So try to not return directly, first create. So we'll create a connection, DB connection. Okay, and we're going to return this with the help of post psycopg. So what we're going to use called pg dot connect, and in this we're going to pass these values. So db name is equals to name, and then there is this user, it is equal to user, then the password, that is equal to password, and host, that is our local host, and our port, so that's 5432. Okay, and then if it's successful, if this connection goes well, it should say that connection was successful. Maybe I'm missing some spelling mistakes are always there with me. The connection was successful, and it should return us that DB connection. Yeah, that's the error. So it will help me get rid of this. And except I'm going to handle all the database errors which is going to happen with Postgres. So Postgres has already pre-built classes for all the possible errors. I'm going to handle only the database related. So those are database errors, database as E, and I'm going to do nothing, just to print them out, like what happened there with the string formatting. Error happened, and that is E, and that's it. We are good to go. This was about connect, and let's create this last function where we will be creating the operations. So in this operation part, we need three things. One is the open connection, second is the statement, and third is the data. So if there is no data, it is going to execute the statement alone. So in this we are also using try except, but this will handle the finally as well. So we are going to just copy paste and change few things inside. Control C, Control V, and we don't need DB connection this time. We need few other things, that is cursor and commitment to committing that data to database, not commitment. Sometimes. So cursor is a class of psycopg2 which can be called upon a connection dot cursor, and my cursor is going to execute, but it is going to check if there is this data or not. If there is some data, if it is for d in data, we are going to our cursor is going to execute the statement, okay, with the data itself. Execute statement and the data d. Else, not for in the it's going to the part of if. So if there is no data, uh, else his cursor is going to execute the statement, plain exit statement only. not data. So without any data. And in the last, what is going to be done is our connection is going to commit this to the database. And same PG database error. And in the finally, we are going to close this connection even if the error happens. So finally, if the connection is open, if connection is open, so if connection means it true or false. So if connection, if it's true, if it's open, then it's true. Cursor or close, cursor should be closed, connection should be closed as well. Okay, and it should print that connection was closed successfully. Connection was closed successfully. And that's pretty much it. Let me add a print as well here as well, so that will say that transaction was successful. So we are pretty much done, I guess. And let's run it on my scrapper. So last time you saw like how we cleaned the data, how we extracted it. So you can directly see over here that I have my data, right? Uh, I have my connection. So it's a connection. It is calling my database connect function. It is taking a DB name and the user and the password. And the first statement is using this connection value. It is going to create the table. So you can look at the create table. It's the name of the table and the values are these. So serial, that's ID, then the model name, rating and price. So this is the connection, first operation it is going to do. But let's first check if that connection is successful in itself or not. So we'll just run it without any connection object. Control Z, Command Z. We're going to run this plain, and if it is successful, then it should give us that connection was established. So we don't need it for now. We'll run when connection is successful. So terminal, Python e-commerce. So that connection was successful. So that database connectivity function also worked. Now we'll just what we're going to do is we're going to uncomment all of that, which is here. We're good to go. So response is there. We don't need HTML again and again. You can comment it out. The response is there. Name data is there. Price data is there. Combined data is there. That's pretty much it. Let's give it a go. Let me show you my database first so that you can have an understanding. So here you can see my database. The database I'm trying to connect to is this. And inside of this, if we look at the schemas, and in tables, we are going to create a table that is mobile data, and inside of that, if our connection works successfully and that execution of first statement works fine, we should get the tables inside of this, columns and fields. Value will be feeded next time again. So like in the second row. So we're going to assign this to a connection variable. We're not going to now just run this alone. So if everything works fine, we should get a clear picture here. I'll clear it out. Python3 e-commerce tracker. So the connection was successful, the transaction was successful, and connection was closed successfully. Now if I go to my database and reload it, I can see there is a table form that is mobile data, and if I look at the columns, so it has all those values like which I gave it to. So ID, model name, rating and price. Now the whole thing is to uh, push my data into the database. So I don't need create statement now. So open connection is fine. We're going to use operation for insert statement. So we'll see if my logic for data insertion works well as well. So I need to give it a data list, and for extraction I'm just using 24 index, so I should get only 24 values. And that's pretty much it. If I run this, I hope I should not get an error. So my spellings, why? I forgot the spelling. So the spelling mistake, sorry, sometimes happens. So run it again. Fingers crossed. Everything worked fine, and if I go to my database and reload it again, now if I see into my schemas and inside my tables, there are 4 columns, and inside my mobile data, if I look at it, all rows, okay, voila, we have the data. You can see it's being stored, all those 24s on one page. So my companion is kind of complete. Okay, the future is quite endless, but to begin with, I am good with my companion, and I can use it on any kind of web scraper project. For example, I have another temperature scraper here, which does nothing. It just goes to google.com and fetches temperature from there. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to use these methods. I'm going to use my companion. So I'm going to do nothing. I won't write all of this. So there is this, you can see all those repetitive tasks. I can just use directly my method. So I'll comment it out, most of the code, and will call my companion over here. So if I call my companion, from companion, import all the functions, and now what I can do is, a data I can store it inside check and response, and inside that I can pass the URL, and I can find the temperature which I am looking for, and for that I can use my extraction method, and for extraction I can find, I just can pass all of this. Control C, Control V, here. So I'll remove all of this, like I won't comma, and for this I need only single value. So now I can just pass my single is true. So single, it's true. So it is going to give me temperature, and in the last statement I will say same statement, Control V, not get text now. Okay. What if its spelling is wrong or what? I don't know. So there is a typo. I always do typo. I don't know how to. So this is my function. So now you can see this. All code can be combined into only 2 set functions. So let's run it all also. Python3 temperature. So if I run this, it should ask me for a city. So let's check for Shimla. Oh, it created a beautiful soup object. It's night time, I'm feeling sleepy, I guess. So Shimla. So you can see 3 lines of code and booyah, I can use it on any web page, any situation. I can modify it and I can customize it to anything. So this was the idea. You can see in e-commerce scrapper it is fetching the database, storing that data into database as well. So in the last how to store the data into database. So using pandas we can create a dictionary of names. These are the column names which is going to be as pasted in this CSV, and the values are going to be list. So the condition here is we need equal length list. So every list should have equal elements in them, and from there we can create a data frame using pd.data frame using this dictionary. And when we and in the last we can say data frame should be saved to a CSV, and that's mobile data CSV. Now if I run this statement in the end, we don't need this to run, and if I run this I should get in mobile data CSV inside my screen. So sorry, not temperature scraper. No, no, no. You don't see e-commerce scraper. So yeah, we have the mobile data CSV. So there you can see, guys. It's very much easy. I can now you can make more modular codes and can call these scripts anywhere and anytime I can use it. So this was the idea. I hope you might have learned a few things and you can use them in your programming. And if anything can come to your use, will be a pleasure for me. And I hope you love Python programming language as much as I do. I promote you to keep on learning. Learning is a lifelong process, and I'm not a expert or any sort of any kind. I'm just a learner in Python from a completely non-technical background. You can call me technical background. I'm a mechanical engineer though, but I never had experience with all this programming and stuff. But yeah, I like it. I love it. I love Python. So anytime. So thank you so much, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you see me doing anything repetitively, tell me in the comment box that you repeat on this thing a lot, man. You need to change that. I will really try to. And in any form of any suggestion, I really appreciate if you put down anything in the comment box. And second thing, with very big shout out to one thing, which is a Kite autocomplete. It's an AI based engine which helps you to complete this whole programming experience. I love it personally. There is nothing which I know, there's no promotion and I don't know them directly, but I really like their product. So I want every Python programmer to use it. So that's a really nice product. It helps you to write lot of, it saves you a lot of time and increases your productivity. So I'll support Kite. You should also try it and give it a go. Then this is all. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you. Keep on learning. Thanks.